ASMR Coffin Radio.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Coffin Radio. I am Heartthrob Rob, and today we are talking about the new WWE documentary, WWE Icons, Rob Van Dam. We got the whole effing show here, man. He gets an hour and 6 minutes where they encapsulate his whole career. And it's very cool to see, I did not know a lot about this about Rob Van Dam, but, he was a younger guy. He actually started younger. He was a smaller dude, and he comes in, as a high school wrestler. And then slowly, he knew his whole life he wanted to be a wrestler. So one day they're driving by, him and his buddies, and they see some guy who has a ring. And they say, hey, they go and knock on his door. They're like, man, let us use your ring. And he says, I run mixed martial arts or, a karate type thing. And if you guys sign up for the karate, afterwards, I'll let you guys use my ring. So Rob jumps on that opportunity, and he does what he has to start his wrestling career. So that's how he kind of comes in with this mixed martial arts and amateur wrestling background, which is pretty strong of a background, man. Slowly but surely, he finds out about the Sheik's territory, and the Sheik is training people. And so Rob goes over there to get his original training. And he said that the Sheik did not really let them know it was a work. He was letting them get it snug. He didn't really learn to cooperate. He just learned how to not make it hurt so bad when he's taking all these bumps. And that's really how he got his training. And that's why he's so snug. He was trained by the original Sheik, and he's got Sabu on his side. So what a hell of a way to come in from that Michigan territory. Slowly but surely, as we get into that, Rob has some tryouts, and he's able to get with WCW, but he never actually signs a contract. And I forget that Rob did a couple matches there. But, he decides he's going to go to some upstart, wrestling promotion named ECW, and that's really where he cuts his teeth and really gets over. This is like the mid-90s now, and, I remember hearing about Rob and seeing him the very first time that he came to WWE. I want to say this is 96, maybe, and we get to see Rob early on in his career, and he's the whole effing show, Mr. Monday Night, and he does good, but, maybe his style doesn't fit so much with WWE at the time, and he goes back to ECW, and that's really where things kick into gear. He becomes the TV champion, I believe is what they call it, for ECW, and he holds it for almost 2 years, just kicking everybody's ass in the whole world, and they show just all the crazy things he can do, man. Rob, dude, you remember how great he is, but once they show these clips, you're all of a sudden like, holy shit, look at this stuff that he's doing. I love Jeff Hardy, but this was, they have their own style, each other, but, if they were to be anyone similar-esque, it would kind of be them. And, Rob was doing that a little bit before Jeff, on the big stream. So it's real crazy to see here. Unfortunately, they talk about, ECW having to go down, and, and Rob goes back to WWE, and, he does the invasion angle. He's not the biggest fan of the invasion angle. I don't think a lot of people are. But, it was crazy to see those kind of matches and to see the ECW guys on on the big TV too, on WWE. And Rob doesn't think that he's ever really going to make it to the tip top, but, he's going to do things his way. He says that, sometimes he didn't want to do certain characters or be anyone besides himself or certain ways. And, he's always, the beat of his own drum, if I were to say anything. And finally, he gets into this Money in the Bank match, and he gets the Money in the Bank, and he wins it. And then he's going to face John Cena at ECW's One Night Stand, which was the second, I believe it was the second ECW pay-per-view that had come back. And he was actually the one who pitched the idea originally to Vince to get why don't you have like an ECW pay-per-view? And that pay-per-view really blows up. So it's on the second one where they give RVD the chance to go over on Cena, and he takes it, man. He takes the victory over Cena, and he's ready to elevate himself to higher than ever before. And a very untimely, arrest happens. He gets busted with some pot with Sabu, and and dude, the world champion can't get caught with drugs like how it used to be. John Cena's not going to get busted for anything. So you can't be, if you were just some regular wrestler on the team, it wouldn't really matter. But as the champion, not a great look for the company. So they take it off him. They take the other belt off him. They kind of squash him. It is what it is. But, he does his other thing, and he goes to a couple of indies, and he's always going to work his own thing, man. He comes back for some money in 2015. He does what he has to do. I've seen him on the indies. He's incredible. I actually met him at a meet and greet semi-recently as I bought some of his CBD. He did a signing. Shout out to the Wrestling Guy store. And it ends with him in the Hall of Fame, and there's a 101, and all his peers are putting him over because Rob Van Dam did it his way, and he did his own style, and I salute him for it, man. Great documentary here by WWE. I wish he could have another 20-30 minutes. I think we get deeper in, maybe the full 2 hours. We'll see. But for WWE Icons, I'm glad they cover Rob Van Dam. But let me know what you guys think about it, man. We'll talk about it in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you like what you're watching, then hop in the coffin. Follow us on social media at Coffin Radio. Coffin is spelled with a K. Tell Kitty Forbes I said what's up. And that's all for today.
ASMR Coffin Radio.